It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
I am Dennis Clark and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. Joining me this week is stand-up Athena Kugblenu, and with her is comedian Christopher MacArthur-Boyd. And facing off against them is comedian Ashley Storey, and joining her is stand-up Alistair Barry. In the news this week, David and Victoria Beckham are building a bat hotel in their country home, as it's clearly the perfect time in history to bring bats closer to humans. Duncan Bannatyne has blasted plans for a £200 million royal yacht, calling it a vanity project. He added that with an offer of a measly 10% equity, he was definitely out, leaving a dejected Queen to take the lift down from the den with nothing. And the government has backed a campaign calling on school children to celebrate One Britain, One Nation Day this week by singing a patriotic song. I'm not saying it's terrifying, but it sounds like it's been written by Kim Jong-un and performed by the twins from The Shining. Right, you've met the panel, let's crack on with round one. And this is the broken news round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Athena and Christopher, can you tell me our first story, please?
Scotland manager
Andy Burnham
has vowed to make sure it's not another 23 years until
talks with the First Minister.
their hopes of
New routes connecting Manchester to Edinburgh and Aberdeen.
were dashed in a 3-1 loss to
Rising COVID rates.
Athena, any ideas what we might be talking about first up?
That sounds like the very sad event that happened. Scotland out of the Euros, 3-1. Oh dear. I mean, I don't know what to say. You were so close until they scored 3 goals, and then you weren't close anymore.
You're right, it was just down to that. Up until that point, it was hanging in the balance. And there it was. Yes, well done for getting the right answer, Athena. It is the news that sadly Scotland have been knocked out of the Euros. Scotland's men's team had hoped to make history by progressing to the last 16, but sadly it was not to be. And unfortunately, Billy Gilmour tested positive for COVID and couldn't play in the Croatia match. It's such a shame because he's such a prodigious talent. I mean, who else could take out 2 England players with a single hug? So obviously didn't end so well for Scotland. Christopher, what have you thought of all of it? Has it been generally good for us Scots to be involved?
I thought it was amazing. You know, this was our first time in a major football tournament since 1998. I was only 5 years old in 1998. You know?
Child.
Yeah, I couldn't tie my shoes, didn't eat vegetables, I was wet in the bed more nights than not, you know. And that hasn't changed, but the world has. And I just think it's been such a long time.
It has been a long time. There's a long gap. Athena, I don't know if you managed to catch any of Scotland's progress in it. Obviously, we're no longer there. Was it good for Scotland to be in the tournament this time round?
Personally, I was thrilled because even though I was born in England, I'm not really a huge English supporter. And if you think England love themselves, imagine being in it. Imagine being in this country during an international competition. It's just crazy. All this, it's coming home. It never lived here. How is it coming home?
Alistair, in terms of the Euros overall, what have your thoughts been of the tournament?
Well, I'm pleased we're through to the next round, because we had this brilliant tactic. I mean, we got to the semi-finals where we got knocked out by Croatia at the last World Cup, but that was entirely down to the meticulous tactical cunning of Gareth Southgate, who managed to negotiate a passage where we didn't actually meet anyone who could play football until the semi-finals. This has gone horribly wrong this time. We've got Germany on Tuesday, so that's obviously goodbye to us. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, we'll just get there and get ready for sitting around and singing God Save the Queen, which is, I have to say, as an atheist Republican, I find it very difficult to get behind the team at the start anyway.
It's a weird time. Ashley, what about you? Did you watch much of Scotland taking part in the Euros?
If I could care less, I would say I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. I just think we got too much too soon. It was like when you take a child to soft play for the first time and they get over exuberant and sweaty and you need to remove them from Little Marco's quite quickly because they're going to vomit from the heat stroke. I felt like that was Scotland supporters. They've had it. That's enough. You had enough fun. Too much would have done you in.
It's typical old Scotland at a tournament. There's always an element of luck plays against us. And losing our star player to COVID before that all-important game was obviously very unlucky. So let's ask the panel, what's the unluckiest thing that's ever happened to you? Christopher, I'll let you go first.
I would say the unluckiest thing that's ever happened to me is probably just the fluke of fate that I was born in this awful body. You know, like,
No!
I could have been anybody, and instead I'm this wee dweeb.
Oh, no!
I just look at crowds of people and like I could have been any of yous and been happier, but I'm stuck with this wee guy.
But that's your thing, Christopher. You are the sort of, young Ronnie Corbett.
This made me so sad.
I feel sad about it. You look lovely.
I'll tell you how lucky I am. I've got a baby boy. If you don't know about baby boys, they urinate when you take a nappy off. And my one, I just always time it when he's having a pee. And it's just, I don't need to taste any more wee, is what I'm saying. It's just like, stop it, boy. Like, that's luck. Because either he's doing it on purpose or it's bad luck.
What's the luckiest thing that's happened to you?
I want to prefix this by saying that everybody was fine. I once fell down a flight of stairs in a mother care and headbutted a baby.
Yes.
Okay. So
Everybody was okay. I was wearing these really big jeans. My mum took me to mother care to buy baby clothes for one of my cousins. I tried to walk downstairs. I failed. I fell. My head landed in the pram.
Brilliant.
It was just a glancing blow.
And tell me, just at the moment that you headbutted the baby, did it start peeing on Athena Kugblena?
No, but I was very annoyed that nobody cared about my sprained ankle.
Well, there we go. The end of Scotland's Euro Dreams is the right answer. Well done, Athena and Christopher. You get 2 points for that. And now to you, Ashley and Alistair. What was the other story we were after?
I think it's to do with Nicola Sturgeon saying that we've to not travel to or from Manchester, and the Mayor of Manchester, who's a very cool looking guy, saying you're a hypocrite.
Pretty much it. And it is the news that the Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, has accused the Scottish Government of hypocrisy after a travel ban was imposed between Scotland and parts of the region. Nicola Sturgeon retaliated, saying if he wants a grown-up conversation, he only has to pick up the phone. Andy Burnham is, however, expected to meet with the SNP's Margaret Ferrier. It's not scheduled. There's just a good chance he'll bump into her getting off the train at Manchester Piccadilly. Do you think this is just political posturing?
Aye, all politicians are posturing. Literally, politics is Love Island for ugly people. See if they could sell skinny tea on Instagram, they would. I have said this a million times. I don't trust any politician. Politics should be done like jury duty. We're all forced to run the country for like 3 weeks and none of us want to do it. And see if you want to do it, you're not allowed to do it.
Fantastic. I love that
I'll
politicians
vote
are
for
just
that
like
every day of the
influencers.
week.
Cannot wait to see Jeremy Corbyn punting Herbalife on Instagram. Oh dear. Alistair, what about it then? As if we didn't need any more hoo-has and divisions with what's going on in the world at the moment. We have
Well,
Scotland
I'm
versus
basically-
Greater Manchester. What are you thinking?
It's interesting. Non-essential travel. I need to go to the loo. Is it essential? It is now. Jeff Bezos travelling to the moon is non-essential travel unless he stays there, in which case I consider it a service to humanity.
What I think is really weird is how do you know where people have come from? Last time I checked, we didn't have passports for the northeast and stuff. Are they gonna just look at how they're dressed, and if they've got like an Adidas tracksuit and sound like Liam Gallagher, you can't come in, mate. You look a bit mank. You look a bit mank, and you can't come in.
You know, I'm a big fan of Nicola Sturgeon, a big fan of Scottish independence, but also I was very impressed by that amazing speech that Andy Burnham did at the start of lockdown where he was fighting for the rights of the workers. So to me, it's kind of like watching my mum and dad argue, you know, it's like, I don't care who's right, just somebody make me fish fingers, chips and beans, all right?
Well, obviously we have these politicians going head-to-head with each other. First Minister against a Mayor. If you could be Mayor or Lord Provost for the day, what would you do? Ashley.
My first rule would be, see if you want to have like a street party or anything like that, pay for it yourself. No more bunting, no more decorations, no more flags or any of that nonsense. See if you want a regatta, pay for it yourself. That's my rule. See if Gary Barlow wants to host a concert for the Queen's birthday, pay for it yourself. I'm done. Gary Barlow's got enough money to have a concert. Pie for schools, pie for the elderly, no more bunting. That's like going to be my stance. No more bunting.
No more bunting. Do you know what would be great? That'd look great in some bunting.
Yeah, which I would pay for myself.
Self-funded. We come to you finally in this one, Christopher.
I've got a great plan. I would take the key to the city, go down to the key cutters, get a duplicate made. It's kind of like when you go to a genie and you ask for more wishes, you know?
So you now have the key forever.
Now I'm the mayor for life.
Oh my God.
That's better than the actual mayor, because I don't know how long mayors last, but it's not life.
What
This
does
feels-
the key actually open though?
Everything. Skeleton key.
This sort of feels like the plots to at least 2 Batman films.
You can get into any door anywhere.
Do you think that's what having the key to the city actually is?
What else would it be?
When you see that ceremonially given to people like Kenny Dalglish, do you think he could sneak into your bedroom at night?
Explain how else Kenny Dalglish was in my bed last night.
You're just that cute.
Well done to Ashley and Alistair. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of Scotland crashing out of the Euros and the spat between Andy Burnham and Nicola Sturgeon. And at the end of that round, the teams are on 2 points apiece. Hey. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion, and this week we spoke to comedian and artist Tariam Boyd and everyone's favourite weather presenter Judith Ralston. So, Ashley and Alistair, what story do you think Tariam is on about here?
We've all been locked away for an extended period of time. I'm much more inclined to be heading up to see the mountains, the hills, getting away and camping, swimming in some rivers, meeting strange hippies and waterfalls. I'm quite happy with that, but it seems to be that the safest way is going to be the best way.
Well, it's travel again, isn't it, really? And the quarantining, the best way to do it.
That is the news that the Westminster Government is considering opening up quarantine-free travel for those people who have had both of their COVID-19 vaccinations. And with the news that the government is considering quarantine-free travel for people with 2 jags, a confused John Prescott has booked the first flight to Mallorca. So, Ashley, what about all of this then? If you've had both vaccinations, should you have more freedom?
I don't know. I've had my 2 vaccinations, Des, and I'm telling you now, my phone signal has not got any better, and I am furious about it.
We should be free to do whatever we want. I had my second jab yesterday, so now I feel like I'm entitled to everything. I should be entitled to park in disabled bays without disabled parking ticket. I should be free to sample the grapes in supermarkets before I buy them. I should be free to marry my cousin. I should do whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't care. I've got 2 jabs now. Do what I like. And you can't stop me and say nothing.
So it's full
Standard.
freedom then for double jabbers?
Absolutely.
I don't like this. This is too much like the purge.
At the very least, we deserve some kind of biscuit.
Wow. And in terms of getting over the pandemic, a lot of people are looking forward to the return of foreign holidays. Many thought they'd be back by now. Alistair, do you think they'll come back at any point this year?
I have a bit of form on this in that the last time I appeared on Breaking the News, I mentioned that I had booked a holiday to Croatia, which is now even less popular an idea with the Scottish public than it was previously. Thinking that we surely by now we might be over it, and the whole panel just laughed at me and were completely correct.
Ashley, do you think we'll see the return of foreign holidays in 2021?
I don't think we will. And I think that, you know how like Venice, the dolphins returned to the canals because the big ships weren't there? I think that there's probably like places in Spain where like natural Spanish people have returned because there's not British people screaming in the streets.
Nature is healing.
And I feel like that's going to be wonderful.
Christopher, what about you? This idea that foreign holidays might not come back this year, where do you stand on that?
They need to.
They need to. Why?
Because my dad's a hairdresser. And he's been telling me that people haven't been able to talk about where they're going on the holidays, right? So people are just telling him everything. Debit card information, sort codes. I don't want my dad to go to jail for fraud over this.
Ashley Story, what would your dream post-pandemic holiday be?
Des, I want to be where the princesses are.
Oh dear.
I want to see them waving, walking around down that, what do you call it? Oh yes, Disney Main Street, up where they walk, up where I can't run, 'cause I've got burnt in the Florida sun. Nothing is free, wish I could be in Disney World.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Thank you. Thank you.
That's nice to have a dream like that and have a lovely way to sing it. No pressure on you now, Alistair, to sing your answer. However, if you can think of us for a dream post-pandemic holiday, what would it be?
I've got a real kind of burning desire to go and stay on Bill Gates's private island, but I think that's probably just the vaccine talking.
The potential for quarantine-free travel is the correct answer, and 2 points go to Alistair and Ashley. So now to you, Athena and Christopher. What do you think our Judith is talking about here?
I'll be honest, I don't think this is particularly important in a relationship because, well, I'm a rather greedy human being and I would eat for two anyway. So a full English isn't particularly romantic or indeed a rather spicy curry. I think for me personally, a cheeky wee glass of something or two is more important for me in that scenario.
I think she's talking about food and what we like to eat when we're on dates.
Yes, it is the news that food-loving Brits believe a first date should always involve a meal, but won't risk eating oysters, sushi or corn on the cob until the fourth date.
It's a bit remarkable what this news item says. Apparently, Brits in this country, we believe a first date should always involve a meal. No, a long-haul flight should always involve a meal. Mm-hmm. Like when you meet someone for the first time, a coffee will do. Food is important in relationship though, because there's nothing worse than being in a relationship with someone who doesn't eat. That's very different. Like a fussy eater. That's very, because I'm a feeder as well. So if I can't feed you, then I don't really have much use for you.
Thank God you're a mother.
It's a bit like running a city farm, my household.
Christopher, what about you? The big question is this: how important is food for you in a relationship?
I think it's very important to romance to eat food. Like, for me, one of the most iconic scenes in cinema in terms of romance is Lady and the Tramp, when the two dogs are eating spaghetti and, you know, I done that once, but it wasn't spaghetti, it was sausage supper. And we went along the sausage bite by bite until we met in the middle.
And was it love at first sight?
No, she threw up on me. But until that point, wow, what a moment for me.
You look at the actual survey. There was like foods to be Brits avoid on the first date. Your first one, the number one on this is oysters, which I can sort of understand, because if you have oysters on the first date, you are basically saying, we're going to have sex after this, which is a little bit presumptuous.
Yeah.
Whereas the second one is mussels, which is basically saying, I can't afford oysters, but I'd like to have sex on the first date.
Actually, looking at that survey, Alistair, there's a few revelations. One that I saw was that apparently it takes over 6 weeks for Brits to be honest with somebody about their cooking. That maybe explains why a series of MasterChef is so long.
I hate to do this, Christopher, but corn on the cob is on the list. I don't know if you've ever seen Christopher MacArthur Boyd eat a corn on the cob, but I have had that delightful experience.
Oh, we haven't, but tell us in detail.
What he does is he juts out his bottom jaw and he scrapes. You know how you hold a corn by the ends, either side along, so then you can chew along it. He holds it up and down the way and scrapes the corn on his bottom teeth to shuck the corn off the cob. And he looks like one of the. Hack. It's not a life hack. You look like one of the wee fish that live at the bottom of the sea with a lamp dangling off their heads.
That's my vibe.
Obviously, I don't even know where to go with that. We are talking about behaviours on a date, so let's very quickly ask our panel this question: what is your most memorable first date? Athena.
I went on a date with someone who smelt of fish really badly, and he'd just been fishing before he came on the date. That's why he's standing. I didn't really know what to say other than you knew you were coming here, right? Like, this is really odd. You couldn't even Febreze yourself. Extraordinary. This is really odd.
The date's gone well when the girl says to you afterwards, you couldn't even be bothered to Febreze yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Most memorable for me was took this girl who was a friend of a friend. We went to the Stand Comedy Club and decided to go for a walk in the park afterwards, and went for the old handhold, a classic, and she went, ugh! And I realised it wasn't a date. And I was so, like, I didn't know what to do. I literally got down on the ground and rolled away like a sausage.
Yes, the foods we won't eat on a first date is the right answer. And 2 points go to Athena and Christopher. You're tuned to a socially distant Breaking the News on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person, and all you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Athena and Christopher, you're up first this time. Just tell me, who is this?
I'm fundamentally a warm person, and I like people, and I'm appreciative of people who do their best and work hard.
John Bercow.
The former Speaker of the House of Commons and Tory MP John Bercow, who this week announced that he has joined the Labour Party. I think he saw Diane Abbott drinking a can of pre-mixed gin on the tube and thought, right, to be fair, they look like a lot more of a laugh. Are you surprised by his move then?
I'm not surprised by it. I just don't think it should be allowed. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be able to sidestep from the Tory heartlands right into Labour. Like, when you're fighting a land war and there's two front lines, there's a no man's land in between that you need to crawl across. So I think John Bercow should be forced to be a Lib Dem for like 4 years, you know?
Just like a no man's land?
Yeah, just like nothing. You know, eventually he'll get there.
He's not even an MP, so he's a member in the same that way that Shirley from the Leisure Centre is a member. Like, it doesn't mean anything exactly. So it feels completely consistent with his political beliefs, but it's very impactless, I think.
You're right. I think people just forgot he was there. It was like when Howard left Take That. I went, is he still in there? Oh, it's a revelation, this. Ashley, what about the news this week that John Bercow, former Speaker of the House of Commons, has defected to the Labour Party? Are you surprised by this move?
First of all, I forgot that word and I was trying to explain it to my mum and I kept saying defecated and she was like, I'm sure that's not the word you're trying to say. And I was like, no, John Bercow's defecated. But I like his name. Because I always think like a bear and a cow had a baby and made a wee bear cow. And that's what I wrote.
I suppose being half bear, half cow, he probably would defecate everywhere, to be honest. I had no idea. I'm now seeing him in a very different way. But the big question is, have you ever swapped sides on something?
Yeah, recently I was supporting Scotland, now I support Wales. Yeah.
Alistair, have you ever swapped sides on something?
George W. Bush. I mean, do you remember back at the tail end of the 90s, early 2000s, you know, he was the devil incarnate. You look back now and go, well, he wasn't that bad, was he, really, in comparison to what came afterwards? So, yeah, I'm not saying I'm a fan as such, but my God, we didn't know quite how badly we could go when everything went a little orange.
It does show you the power of Donald Trump when you think, see that George W. Bush? Despite all the wars and all that, he actually wasn't that bad.
Do you know that Saddam Hussein? At least he wasn't Trump. Do you know what I mean?
That. How bad does an ego? Do you know what? See that Jar Jar Binks? From 2009 until 2019, John Bercow was the Speaker of the House, which is also what my uncle calls his Alexa. Well done, 2 points to Athena and Christopher. That was John Bercow. Right, Ashley and Alistair, your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
And we were lifting anything from trains to Atlas stones, logs, putting 500 kg on our back and walking with that. So yeah, there was a lot of different tests for our body to do, but it was a fun competition to be part of.
I think that is the first Scottish world's strongest man,
Yay!
Tom Stoltman. Congratulations, sir. Well done. Very exciting.
It is indeed Tom Stoltman, and well done. Tom made history this week by becoming the first Scot ever to win the World's Strongest Man title. After winning, 27-stone Tom was lifted into the air by his brother Luke, which meant Luke was then awarded the title instead. So you're obviously excited, Ashley. Are you a fan of the World's Strongest Man?
So much a fan. He's joining legends. John Paul Sigurdsson, Magnus Ver Magnuson, Jeff Capes. I love World's Strongest Man. There's like guys lifting cement circles. Why? Just cause. Just cause. And have you seen World's Strongest Men's food Instagram on their cheat days?
No.
Oh, I'm going to eat 9 pizzas. Good for you, son.
I'm with Ashley. I think I watched Strongman every Christmas. You used to every Christmas, right? And you'd watch it, and it'd be guys lifting logs and pulling trucks. What I like about this Strongman as a sport is that it's useful. Most sport isn't very handy. If someone's good at tennis, that's all very good. But you know, what about what you do with him when the wheelie bin is too heavy and you can't pull it out? So I would like to live with this man. I'd like to live with him. He could lift things. All they can do is lift things. Is what I'm getting at. But do you know how useful a skill lifting things is? Often I need to lift things and I can't because I'm just a puny little girl. I mean, Christopher, imagine you lived with him. It'd be amazing because he'd make up for the things you lack.
Yeah.
You know, because he's
live on his shoulders.
exactly.
Like a rucksack.
I love it. Christopher very quietly said, I could live on his shoulders like a rucksack. Christopher MacArthur Boyd, from one strongman to another. Tom Stoltzman is a champion, a world champion. What an achievement this is.
It's a huge achievement, and I think we should actually rally around this as a country. Like, why are we focusing on the fact that we just lost a football game? Why aren't we focusing on the stuff we can actually do at a world level, like lift boulders or curling or have high blood pressure? Like, why are we not focusing on our strengths?
Obviously, we say congratulations to the brilliant Tom Stoltzman, the world's strongest man. But what are you best at in the world?
I think probably procrastination. This would have been a brilliant joke if I could have been bothered to write it.
Athena, answer to this. What are you best in the world at?
Making rice. Oh yeah, I can make rice. I put in the exact amount of water that you need, and the rice is fluffy. And any kind of rice, basmati, long grain, brown, white, I'm sorted. World champion.
World champion at rice making. There you go, it's bold. We've just had a text in from an Uncle Ben who wants to challenge you for that title, so there might be a match with the Atlas Stones coming soon. Yes, Tom the Albatross Stoltzman is the right answer, and 2 points go to Ashley and Alistair. And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. So I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
Scotland!
There's Ewan McGregor there trying to use the force to help the Scotland team. Come on, Scotland. Yeah. So, here we go. 1 in 4 of us are doing what?
Is it not progressing from Group D?
Literally correct and painful in so many ways. 1 in 4 of us are doing what?
Try to take over the Labour Party.
1 in 4 of us are doing what?
The hokey cokey.
1 in 4 of us are doing what?
Right now, Kegels.
I can tell you the right answer, and it is that 1 in 4 of us are taking on another job.
Scotland!
Oh, there we go. That is the klaxon just in time. Ewan has McGregor. It's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Alistair Barry and Ashley Storey. And commiserations to Athena Cook-Blenu and Christopher MacArthur Boyd.
We tried our best.
And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news just in. A girl and her 2 dads have moved into Sesame Street, which, according to the director, is the first time a gay male couple will appear as regular characters in the show. Unfortunately, takes of their first episode kept being ruined by the sound of Bert and Ernie loudly coughing. A team from the University of Edinburgh have developed software that could allow Gaelic-speaking smart speakers. Personally, I can't wait for Siri and Alexa to be introduced to Echo Dotaman. And actor Tom Hiddleston said landing the role of Loki was like winning the lottery. And indeed it is great that the Eton and Oxford Educated Award winner finally caught a break in his life. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!